So yes, the force is strong with us today as we enter a new moon. And it's important to understand one's original position as an eternal part and parcel of the Supreme identity. So the Supreme can generate individual souls at will for his pleasure. So from the absolute platform, generating trillions and trillions of individual souls or living entities. And they basically have free will to come down into the illusion of matter or the matrix or the material world and play out a certain role called you or I. And so we, right here, are all in this relative playground, thinking we are humans, and only humans. In the material universe, humans are the highest species because it is the human who has the opportunity for self-realization. And while everything is, you could say, the self playing itself out, the difference between a human and an animal is that the animal identifies exclusively as its identity of animal, body, mind. Whereas humans can go beyond the body, mind conception of life and realize that they are the Atman or the self. And the Atman is Brahman or God, the all-pervasive I am presence, essentially. And it's very humbling to realize this, sort of not just taking it as a theory, but really knowing it from the inner being, that the self is Brahman, essentially. That you, in essence, are eternal, timeless, unborn, imperishable, and all-knowing. And that's when you reach the shanti, or the peace which passeth all understanding. Just this infinite awareness, which has a subtle bliss, like a mellow bliss. And in Advaita Vedanta, which is non-dual knowledge, there is no difference between you and I, and it's kind of like undifferentiated consciousness, essentially. We're just waves in the same ocean. But once you reach this level of self-realization, there's no real action. It's just you reach the sort of awareness, and yet you're still alive, breathing, being present in a body which is human in form. There still remains some bewilderment because you still don't know how you got here. And since you realize you are this all-pervasive I am consciousness, you're still kind of localized in a relative body. So then you begin to inquire, what is the absolute body? And most people in religion and spirituality settle for the Great Spirit, as the Native Americans call it, or the Holy Spirit, as the Christians call it, or it's always this kind of impersonal force, or like the Force in Star Wars, this energy. But where, or specifically from what or whom is this energy emanating? And most people do not inquire further. They settle for the impersonal Brahman, mistaking it for the absolute supreme source. And you'll have a lot of unscrupulous people thinking that because Atman is Brahman, it means that I am God. And so it is like the myth of Prometheus or Lucifer, who takes the fire of knowledge from the Supreme, bringing it down to the material world, and then becoming his own God, separate from the Absolute, the Father. And many people in spirituality and religion are like that. It is a way for the ego to get in through the back door when this assertion is made. There is no difference between you and I. There is no good and evil. I am God. You are God. It's just God doing it to himself, just for kicks. That is one aspect of God, which is Brahma. And in the beginning, there was darkness, according to the Christian Bible. But that's because the creator of the material universe came in order to create. So mind creatures. you know. But he was still a bit bewildered as to how he got there, and what his purpose was. And likewise, so are we. Then the knowledge, the Vedanta, of the Supreme Source, the Absolute, is received in the heart of Brahma. And he finds out that actually, yes, he is a creator God. And by extension, we are all mini creator gods. But we were generated by something higher. What is that? The answer is in Bhakti Vedanta, which goes beyond Advaita Vedanta. Bhakti is devotion. So with Advaita, you have non-dual knowledge. And Bhakti is devotional knowledge. Knowing that your God-given power as a creator was given to you by the Supreme. And most radically, the Absolute Truth, or the Supreme, is referred to as a person. It goes beyond the impersonal conception. And who is this person? None other than Krishna. And knowing Krishna through science or logic or curiosity is just the beginning. But you cannot really know the Absolute Truth without approaching him with full open surrender and devotional acknowledgement. If you take one step towards God, he will take 10 steps towards you. So he is really the generator of the impersonal spirit energy that everyone refers to. The prana, chi, life force. Everyone talks about the life force. But where does it come from? It comes from Krishna. And this is not faith or dogma, but it's all in the revealed Vedanta. And the next step of self-realization goes beyond the impersonal I am presence. Because once you realize that I am, you're in this state of indefinite inaction and suspense. But who am I in relation to the Supreme? That's even more. that is something even more. For in this life, the foundation of this life is essentially relationships. And likewise, on the absolute platform, we don't just dissolve into this gooey, impersonal oneness. We retain our essential individuality and personality. And so the step further in self-realization is knowing your unique, intimate, transcendental, loving relationship with Krishna. And that's for you to find out. So the journey continues. I'll leave it with that. And may the force be with you.